guys, welcome back to October Reads, and today we're going to be talking about The Belfry by Gabriel Hardman. I actually hadn't heard of this one before. This was recommended to me by Cat Ren Figures, so luckily I hit up my Comic Core family, and Cat Ren Figures responded with The Belfry as a read that I should read for October Reads. So big thanks, Cat, for this recommendation. So most of you probably are like me and haven't heard of this. If you guys are interested in reading this, you can pause the video now and you can go to Comixology and acquire it for less than $1. So basically the Belfry starts off, there's a plane crashed. It's in the middle of this like forest that's on some sort of island, it appears. Pilot wakes up, finds his co-pilot has a stick through his eye. Looks like he's dead. None of the passengers are awake. You kind of assume right off the bat that they're dead as well. So he gets out of the plane and he gets attacked immediately by a female gargoyle. So it was weird enough that they're crashed on this weird island. Now there's a gargoyle involved, and I believe she was also put through the glass of the plane previously. So she just wakes up and bites the pilot. He passes out, of course. By the time he actually comes to, there's no gargoyle, but the entire crew of the ship and the passengers, they're all okay. So whatever he did saved the passengers, however he landed the plane. And he's asking, if they got the body of his co-pilot out, and they're like, that's the thing, he's in rough shape, but he's fine minus, the stick in his eye. So yeah, he's in awful shape, but somehow everyone actually survived the rough landing that they had. So it seems like right off the bat you establish that there's a relationship between our main character co-pilot and one of the stewardesses on the plane. So she's kind of like your other main character. But yeah, the thing about this book is there's not a ton to it, basically. It's a one-shot, it's only like 30 pages. It'll probably take you 5 minutes to read. So the story immediately starts going into its climax when all these passengers are getting attacked by multiple gargoyles now, and then they're put in this pit, and the only way to escape from the pit, of course, is to fly out. So it appears these gargoyles have the same rules as like vampires and werewolves. If you're bitten, you have a chance of being turned. If not, for some reason, there's one dude that's there that's helping feed the survivors, and he is one that was tried to turn previously, but for some reason he couldn't turn, so they ripped his eyes out. Don't know why, never explained, but it just adds to that creepy factor, I suppose. So some of the passengers in the pit start to turn, and then the others, there's like 3 left. Our second main character, she's already turned and flew out of the pit. There's our main character pilot and 2 other ones. They're brought in by the other gargoyles. And the other gargoyles, they're getting ready to gouge their eyes out and do who knows what else. When our main pilot, who's the first one bitten, finally snaps and turns, and rage flies out of the pit, and he kind of turns to himself. He's like, thank goodness I got out of that situation, even though he's a gargoyle now. And then the story ends with him flying into another plane, and another plane getting ready to crash on the island. So that's how this crazy story comes to an end. Speaking of the art in this story, I really did enjoy Gabriel Hardman's art. The main reason I wanted to read this is I was familiar with his Green Lantern Earth 1 work that doesn't get enough love out there. So he has this like very dark and gritty style. So when he did the Green Lantern stuff, when it was like in deep space and it was just Harold Jordan, it had a really cool ambiance and look to it, and this is no exception. When he's drawing the gargoyles, they're very dark, gritty, and scary looking. So Hardman's art is very awesome here. I think we're going to go ahead and give this story a 4 out of 5. Left me wanting more, but hey, he wanted to do a one-shot. It is what it is. Some stories don't have all the explanation in the world, and this is one of them. Just a nice, quick horror tale. So I recommend it if you like Gabriel Hardman's other stories and art, if you've read those, or just looking for a nice quick read for October. I highly recommend this as well. Thank you guys so much once again for checking out October Reads.